A lot of cleanup done today on all three phases of the game, and now we'll get on a plane and go. And we still have a lot of work to do, and a lot of time left before the game. So, unusual travel situation, going a day early. So we'll maximize the time that we have with our players to get them ready to go play a game. Once again, it has nothing to do with where the game is. We have to play really well, and I plan on doing that.
What's still your biggest concern about this game?
Well, I think even though we played a lot of guys last week, I believe this opponent's going to put more stress on us in certain areas. And so we'll have to see how they react. We still have a lot of young players that haven't played a whole lot.
How do you think those young players will handle their first road trip after the far road trip?
Yeah, I hope really well. We do have some senior leaders, veteran leaders for them to learn from. And it's not about where you play; it's about playing really well, regardless. So I think that's our mindset. Over years, we've been a pretty good road team.
Syracuse kind of has an undersized defensive line. What do you see out of them on film in terms of their effort?
Yeah, I think when you watch the film, you don't realize that because they're so strong. They are very physical. They play India, their defensive line, knock you back. And like I said, we're going to have our hands full. I think there's a much improved team and a much improved defense from last year.
You've played in these situations before. I mean, playing on a neutral field, I mean, how does that change the dynamic, I guess?
Well, I think that, normally it takes out a crowd factor, because the crowd's mixed. I would think in this one, there'd be more Syracuse than SC, but I think you'd also have maybe another third that's, going to the game just for the event, not necessarily for one side. So I wouldn't think that crowd noise would be a factor.
Are you trying to emphasize the run game for this game just because it was absent last week?
No, we're going to do the best thing to win. Regardless of what that is, whether that's we throw it a bunch, run a bunch, whoever gets the touches, get the touches. But we need to get to 2-0. We need to win this and get back on a plane and come back home.
You treat guys a certain way, guys like Silas and Anthony who are going back. Are there any danger there in this part?
No, our guys understand this is all business. We don't go and do any different trips. This isn't unfortunately, this isn't about that's what the off-season is for and Sunday for. This is about business. We're flying there, we're focusing on just doing everything for that.
Is there any significance being in New York? It seems like the Pac-12 is trying to bridge that gap. Is there any significance for this big game being there?
Not for us. Like I've said before, I think for our fans, for our players' family, for the university, yeah, but for this team, I don't even know if these kids know for sure where they're playing. This is about 11 guys out there executing really well.
What's the biggest challenge that Ryan is facing?
I think getting them in some third and longs is so efficient, whether he's completing balls or whether he's not taking the sacks and making a 3-yard scrambling. And to find a way to cover their guys long enough so we can get a rush and get them in some third and longs is good.
Were you surprised that with only 5 returning starters, the offensive play?
Well, I think it starts with the quarterback. He's really, really good and extremely efficient. Makes a ton of plays and does not make any mistakes. And so, regardless of who comes back, that's going to help with. And then it changes your offense. I think returning starters gets overrated. Sometimes you have better guys that just aren't ready to play at that time, and a year later you're better with less returning starters. So I think they're going to get more explosive, especially if the other receiver comes back.